Hi there. Happy New Year to everyone. Sorry I haven't had a post up over the holiday season, but I had vacation time and I took it. Um, I'm going to do a general collective reading for 2021 all round. There's a lot of planetarial shifts happening. So I'm going to try to incorporate that in the reading as well and use that as a guide for this reading. It is a love reading, but it also could be other things if they come up. Now, there might be different timelines that pop out. This might not resonate with you, but if it does, then it's, a message that can be taken and used to your advantage. So, without saying anything else, I'm going to go ahead and shuffle the deck. And thanks again for joining my video today. Um, I'm going to be upgrading my channel shortly, so that's pretty exciting because I've got a lot of new cards coming in, and like I said before, the new year I am going to be incorporating those, so I'm really excited about it. So I'm just going to go ahead and shuffle the deck, and I'm going to cut it into 3 decks, and then go ahead and give those a good shuffle, because it's been a while and I don't have my energy in them, so I'm just going to go ahead and get one shuffle. Right, that one was a bit stubborn. Okay, 2. Okay, that's a little stubborn as well. And 3. And that went very well, so that's good. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and begin. So I'm doing a general reading for the collective, which means that it's all signs, general, so take with it what you may, or take from it what you may. And I hope everyone had a really nice Christmas, enjoyed your time off work and family with your loved ones. I know I did. So, into 2021, guys, and let me just say, by shuffling these cards, we're in for another doozy of a year. We have a lot of planetary shifts with Pluto and Mars and Uranus and Mercury, which is the communication, and this year being a number 5 number, communication is going to be a very strong aspect of the reading of the year. So watch out for that. There's going to be, I think, a lot of, these are just some of my basic predictions coming out here. There's going to be a lot of justice situations coming out, like a lot of, I feel like some judgments and balance taking place. A lot of things that were sort of off kilter are going to realign themselves. But with that, it's going to come a lot of communication, but also conflict. So I wouldn't be surprised if the 5 comes out in this reading, the 5 of Wands. And if it doesn't, so be it. But just because this year being the number 5 does talk about communication, and so there are going to be a lot of negotiations, both political and spiritual and racial and community-based and social-based, and we're in for a lot of more conflict in terms of rebellious nature, and people sort of standing up for what they think they believe in and what they think is right versus the easy way. We're in a spiritual awakening as well, so there's going to be a lot of people coming forward and speaking their truth and being more open and honest about how they feel, like generally authentic about how they feel about a situation, a personal situation, a general position. They're going to be speaking more about how they feel and think about things, which is usually the taboo in general, but we've seen a lot of that come out in 2019 and 2020 as well, as people taking a stand for what they think is right and saying what they think is necessary to say, and making profound movements occur. And I feel like this is another year of protest and a lot of compromise is being made, but also a lot of like conflict. So a lot of back and forth energy. Like I feel like this year's like a ping pong. You're gonna ping it and back. So just when you think a few months have gone by, like maybe May or June, it's going to be awesome. You're going to have a lot of travel. Maybe people are going to burst out and just like be like, oh wow, like let's hug everybody, and there's going to be like a lot of like sexual situations happening, and a lot of like social gatherings and a lot of travel, and then boom, like a rubber band is going to be pulled right back, and that's going to be hard on on the communities, and I feel like that's something that's coming from me just based on a lot of the astrological videos I've been watching. The sun cards and the overall desire of most people out there, which is, a renewal. People are really sick and tired of this, feeling stuck situation and being bound and being, prevented from doing things that we want to do and be sociable, because it's in our nature to be sociable beings. We are a social creature. So to hold us back from doing that is taking a toll, and we already see that with people going through anxiety and depression and things like that. So I think that's going to ease a lot going into January, February. I would suggest that March might be a little bit more of a pullback. April might be a little bit of a pullback. There's some things happening in May. It's kind of exciting. And June as well. And then July, halfway through July, you're going to see a lot of sort of like confusion, a lot of confusion and conflict, and something, sort of like an overall energy that's going to take place that's going to make people sort of really question their decision and question other people's decisions. So there's going to be a lot of that happening this year. A communication year, number 5 year, a very strong year for communication, a very strong year for like people reaching out to people they haven't seen or heard for a very long time. Maybe, love wise, been on your mind, they're going to reach out. People are looking for closure and renewal. So I feel like there's like a new cycle starting for a lot of people, and they want to kind of like, clean out the closet, start fresh, start new. You're going to see a lot of people changing the way that they think and feel. Behavioral patterns are going to change, and then they're going to come back to who they used to be and kind of like pull back again. So just consider this year like a rubber band or a ping pong. It's going to get good, going to come back, oh, I don't know, and then again, oh great, and then again, I don't know. So this is the year of indecision, and I feel like it is going to be quite an interesting one. Personally, just based on my feelings, I don't want to call them predictions because I'm not a cognitive. However, I do have strong intuitive feelings and a knowing of certain aspects of things that I think are coming just based on different astrological videos I've watched, and also based on the situation politically. I don't want to say this because I don't want to cause. I try to stay out of politics in these readings, but I feel like Trump's not over. Obviously, but I think something's there, guys. And I hate to say this, but everyone knows he's not going out without a fight. And I think that something is going to turn around in his favor. I don't know for how long it will be. But I think, watch for that in the news. Something drastic is going to take place with him being president for quite a bit longer than expected. So just think that will turn around as well. Again, that rubber band effect, it's going to pull back and things will get back to normal again. So don't worry. So the strength card is in the reverse, which talks about people looking for that sense of, security again with the COVID and the money and the emotions, and everybody's just done and sick of it, right? So that's an overall desire of the collective. And again, the justice card, looking for balance, looking for that sort of, people, acknowledging you for who you are, and, getting fair pay and being treated fairly, and speaking your mind without feeling prosecuted and things of that nature. So I think there's a lot of that happening as well. The sun being in the renew position upward talks about, like I said, renewal. So again, a very, very huge divine thing is taking place, a divine situation, a divinity is definitely in place this year. The number 5 being in the connection field of communication. And here, I feel like there's going to be a lot of movement as well. A lot of movements politically, a lot of movements rebelliously, a lot of movements spiritually, and a sense of renewal of how things used to be. And when I say that, I mean like not pre-COVID, but in a sense of the more traditional ways. You're going to see a lot more people putting down the phone and like going outside and enjoying, nature and having hikes and picnics and maybe reading a hardcover book as opposed to an ebook. I just feel like a lot of things are going to renew back to a certain time where I feel like there's going to be a lot of manipulation overall with technology, and I think people are going to be kind of a little bit scared of what's coming, and I think they're going to kind of just pull back a bit and say, you know what, I really don't trust that particular bit of information. I'm going to refer to this book that was published 20 years ago and see how similar this topic is, that sort of thing. I think people are going to be looking for hard truths as opposed to soft, opinionated Again, media outlets that maybe are being, I don't want to say controlled, or, it's kind of like a conspiracy way of looking at it, but more or less like bendable, or what's the word I'm looking, they're less flexible, I suppose, in their without point of view. In other words, true journalism. I think you're going to come to see more people coming out of the woodwork that believe in what they're doing is true journalism and speaking their truth regardless. I also see Julian Assange being pardoned. I think that Snowden as well will be pardoned. I feel like that's something that needs to take place, and I don't know if it will, but I feel like it's going to happen. And I think that that's something that's going to bring a lot of people a lot of feeling of, oh my goodness, yes, like we cannot punish those that step forward to bring us the truth about our governments, and we cannot punish those who step forward to tell the truth of what's happening, because there's so much confusion with truth and lies that there's no middle ground, and there hasn't been for 2 or 3 years now. So I feel like that's what I mean by the renewal of going back to like looking for more concrete, that's the word I'm looking for, concrete answers, concrete proofs. None of this fluffy, kind of like, I think this and I think that. Like there's going to be a decision made within people that they feel like, okay, well, I don't know if I trust that media outlet. I don't think that this person is really being, as truthful as I thought, that sort of thing. So I think you're going to feel a lot of pullback of like, let's get back to the natural root, the grassroots of our culture in terms of, is it fact, is it fiction type of thing. And I think that's what the indecisiveness comes from. Like, am I believing what I'm seeing? Is this truth? Is this reality? Is this lies? Is this manipulation? That sort of feeling of like not being able to see or believe what you see, I guess is what I'm trying to get with the technology that's coming. Okay, so with that in mind, I've now done 12 minutes of my own personal feelings on things. So the overall desire of that is definitely in the card. So the next card I pulled is the 10. So the 10 of Swords. So I feel like a lot of people are going to be in a situation in which they're really, really looking at, again, their self, their past, their mistakes, their decisions, and really reflecting on those that did not serve them well, and those that did. So also eliminating people in your life that may not serve you in a positive way. For example, if you're in a relationship, and I don't mean romantically, I just mean in general, it could be a family member, it could be a work colleague, it could be a friend, a long-term friend, it could be someone you just met. I don't know. But there's no boundary on this. There's no, fenced in narrative. This is an overall opinion here, an overall feeling intuitively that people are no longer going to be treated or allow people to treat them in a way that is manipulated. In other words, being stabbed in the back, feeling the burden, feeling the depression, feeling the anxiety. We are sick of it. And I think people are going to start coming out of their shell, being more sociable, really, really working on getting through that mechanism that prevents us from, getting out into the world. And I think COVID was one of the bigger factors in people really facing that parts of who they are and being truthful about them with friends and family. So with that being said, it's a really great clearing, a cleansing situation, a really good 2020 was, yes, it was up and it was down, but the one thing that it brought to light was all of the low frequency, right? It brought a lot of the low frequency to the surface and really exposed a lot of belief systems that are still embedded in a lot of people today. And I feel like that really separated those that feel a kind of certain way from those that don't. And because there was no middle ground, I feel this is the year that's going to create that middle ground. This is the year that's going to bring out a space for people to stand on and say, you know what? I don't believe this and I don't believe that, but I believe in a possibility, and because the possibility is there, that I am not going to shut my mind out to either side, but I'm going to stay neutral. A lot of people are going to be in a neutral position of mentality, a neutral position of I'm not going to swing one way or the other because I don't want to get myself in a situation where I'm like this again, right? So that's the current energy taking place over the next 3 to 6 months. So let's just see what's happening here. Okay, so we have the the Six of Pentacles, okay, and the Queen of Wands. So the Six of Pentacles, I'm looking at a lot of generosity coming through. A lot of people are going to be more generous, more compassionate to those that are homeless, compassionate to those who are in need, compassionate to those who have mental health issues, and understand more clearly about what that means, because of COVID and a lot of people feeling trapped within the social constraint of what we have been experiencing, they themselves have maybe experienced a little bit of what others are going through, and maybe can now understand a little more clearly on what that is, and are not going to be as judgmental. Okay, so that's a big thing coming through for 2021. The Queen of Wands is also here, and she represents a sort of, again, this compassionate, sort of very strong maternal nurturing side. So you're going to see a lot of women or feminine energy here this year. This year it's going to be a lot of feminine energy, a lot of female influence, a lot of, and I don't mean like 2019 where it's the hashtag Me Too movement. I feel like this year is going to be the beyond that. Okay, we're in a position now where we can speak our minds. Let's speak it, and let's speak it truthfully, and let's be honest, and let's not be hash or brash about it. There's a way to communicate with people that you do not have to be so cruel, right? And we've seen all of that in 2020 with a lot of the politics going on between the United States and in Canada. So I'm not, again, setting any boundaries for this. This political idealisms and things are going to shift. Okay, there's going to be a big shift politically, and there's going to be a big shift spiritually. So with the Queen of Wands in the current position coming in, that strong, nurturing, compassionate, mothering kind of like, okay, well, I don't think that's a good decision mentality. Let's think about things. Let's sort of come into this mentality where maybe we should stay neutral a little bit longer and just see how things play out before we speak, right? Watching what we're saying, how we're saying it, when we're saying it. That's a big key this year in 2021. 5 being the major, number for communication, of course, with 2021 equaling 5. So, all right, so let's go ahead and look at the universal energy of things. So again, a renewal with compassion coming through, a lot of understanding and a lot of patience. People are going to have a lot of patience with others. I think this year is going to be the year of people coming together and being really understanding with one another and being very helpful and community-based, right? A lot of socially community-based situations. And I think the global thing is going to, I don't want to say narrow in, but a little bit. I think there's a lot of us that are going to be thinking on smaller scale, like let's not take over the world. Let's just fix our community first and see how that goes. That sort of idealism. Okay, so then we have the moon here. So I feel like a lot of people, because it's right underneath the 10 of Swords, and the moon being, not only a card of deception, but a card of really, again, pausing for thought, being kind of mindful and being more careful with what we're listening to, what we're subjecting ourselves to, and what we're really taking ourselves out of the equation that when it doesn't fit us, when it doesn't do anything for us in a positive way. Like if it's going to lower our frequency, I feel like there's going to be more people coming out saying, no, I'm good. I'm just going to step away from this conversation and move on. Like, or, you're going to see people like less infatuated with the darker side of life and more sort of prone towards the lighter side. The light, the renewal, the sunshine that's coming is going to really boost people's morale. And again, but remember, it's going to bring it back because you have that indecisive nature, that paranoia that's going to creep in and say, yeah, but I believe that before and it didn't really work out that way, so I really don't know what to believe anymore. And so you're going to see people kind of jumping in the middle. So just be mindful of that. Again, with the moon card here, the moon card also represents a sense of duality and change, but it's always sort of behind the scenes, and so we're not always aware of the energy that's coming in. Now we have a lot of lunar eclipses happening in 2021, as well as solar eclipses with Mercury and Pluto and Jupiter. And I feel like Jupiter is the Jupiter is the like, hey, let's have fun, let's go travel, let's be creative, let's get spontaneous. And then you have Pluto coming in and Mars going and then Uranus going but we should think this through. That sort of kinetic energy that the moon brings, that vibration the moon brings. There's going to be a particular moon, full moon, I believe. I have to fact check this, but I think it might be in the first quarter of the year, in which people are really, it's going to create like, it's going to be chaotic, very chaotic, and then steady out. I think it is July when the second one comes. I think it's February. I think it's February and then July, and then I want to say December, November. I think November is going to be a crazy month as well. I think November is going to be, you're going to see a lot. I feel like there's going to be a lot of unrest, social unrest coming in November. November is going to be a month to kind of like want to just not make any decisions, don't make any financial transactions, do not go shopping, like really stay close to home and sort of just like brace yourself, because it's going to be kind of a bumpy month, I feel like. So basically here again, just getting back to the reading, the moon here again with the duality of, you know, looking upwards, looking onwards, feeling that beautiful moon, mother moon, female again energy here with the moon and the sun being male, moon being female. Energy coming through. We have a lot of I'm feeling a lot of water signs and we have Cancer, Scorpio, Aquarius energy, and because we're going into Aquarius again this year, that represents a lot of people really concentrating on what doesn't serve them anymore. In other words, what has brought you to a depressive state? Let's cut that out of our life. Like, why do we have all this anxiety? Maybe we shouldn't drink that much coffee. Like, do you know what I'm saying? We're really going to be self-evaluating is the key I'm trying to find. That word, self-evaluation, is 2021, as well as communication, big time. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what else the universe has to offer that's going to push on through this year and help us through with our energy. Here, the Justice being in the head position, again, looking for that balance and the strength to get through it. And then we have the Seven of Cups in reverse. So there's going to be a lot of options coming towards a lot of people. There's going to be a lot of emotional indecisiveness, okay? And again, with that paranoia, the moon card beside that, I feel like there's been people that have been sort of, you know, trusting in the wrong basket of eggs. Maybe a few of them are rotten eggs, and you know, that sort of thing. So I think like with okay, so first of all, the Seven of Cups is a great cup card. Oh, just 1 second, I have to pause. Sorry about that interruption. I had someone at my door. Okay, so again, the Seven of Cups being usually in an upward position talks about lots of options, okay? A lot of choices to make, or not to make, but just to have. A lot of us are going to feel that we have a lot of choices coming in, but they're going to be cool. Like the energy is going to be very kinetic. The frequency is going to be very like quick. Like you got to choose this or this real quickly, or it's going to go away. Like, you know, that kind of feeling, that sort of like too good to be true, should I think this through, and then the opportunity passes, you know what I'm saying? So I think there's going to be some people that miss out on some opportunities and some love offers. However, it will come back again in May, June, July, so not to worry. But because it's in the reverse position, let me just refer to my book quickly because I don't want to be wrong on this one. 7. Yeah, so what's happening is, okay, great. This is fantastic. So so the Moon card and the Seven of Cups actually is really good, because what it's saying is that this illusion, paranoia, and deception feeling that we came from out of 2019, 2020 as well, it's going to now shift into being very clear. Like I said earlier, there's going to be a clarity of self-evaluation, and the idea of that low frequency mentality is going to disappear. So it's going to end. This feeling of delusional thinking, and this fog is going to lift. Okay, oops, sorry, I don't mean to bump the video. So illusion's going to end. We're going to have a restored sense of clarity. Okay, again, like I said, you know, a clear thinking. It's not going to be muddled. We're going to be ready for this transition taking place. There's a huge shift coming. Okay, so just so to brace yourself for that. So I'm going to so yeah, so because of those you're going to feel there's going to be some missed opportunities and things like that, but don't worry, because like those choices are going to be based on like deceptive feelings. And once that clears and that sort of the clouds kind of like roll by, then those choices and options are going to pop up again, and you'll be able to make basically a clear decision on what it is that you want to choose. For example, if it's two people in your life you've met and you don't know really who to date, or if it's that job you've been thinking about, maybe you are going to get a raise and you're not quite sure what that also entails and you're kind of skeptical, or maybe you are thinking about changing jobs altogether or going back to school, but you're really not sure. Well, that is all going to lift, and then you'll be able to see things and feel things and be able to make those decisions a lot more clearly, okay? And that's in the middle to the latter part. I want to say between March and August is a good time. May, June, July are going to be like, oh, think of it as like a, have you ever been to a fun fair or a circus? Well, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be high energy, a lot of like, woohoo, we're free mentality, and it's going to be all at once. So the vibration is going to be like off the charts. May, June, being in Gemini as well, Cancer, and then going into Leo. Taurus energy with the stubbornness and sort of like the, so there's a lot going on. And then of course Mercury's going to be there, Pluto's going to pop in, bop here and there, and Jupiter's going to be bopping in and out all year long. So you're going to have these ebbs and flows through the year of let's be crazy, and then like, oh shit, what have I done? Let's be crazy, oh god, no, like excitement, shame, excitement, guilt, excitement, shame. So we're going to be really hard on ourselves, the decisions we make, but it's only because of what we've come out of, and we're doing this shift, this change, this mentality, this spiritual growth thing. And but don't worry, we by mid to end of the year, all those choices, decisions, it's going to be, you know what, I lived life, it was good, I had fun, and that was the main thing. And you know what, now I can take this part of the rest of the year on because I did all those crazy things. Do you know what I mean? And I don't mean crazy like go rob a bank or be irresponsible, in any kind of a way, but just more or less like, if people are going to be spending more money, they're going to be traveling, there's going to be a lot of like bopping and dopping kind of thing. Yeah, so just have fun, but with Jupiter there, there's going to be nothing holding you back from making kind of the poor choice in the moment, but at the time it's going to feel like the best choice in the moment. Does that make sense? I hope so, because and a lot of the choices people are going to be making aren't going to be like for the ultimate worst. It's just going to be one of those like, the day after feeling of like, oh, I should go back and take those clothes to the mall because I spent $500 and I really shouldn't have done that. But at the time made me feel good. That sort of, or, maybe I shouldn't have bought that much shrimp because it's really only just me, and somebody else, and it's just going to go bad. So, like, I won't do that again. That sort of thing is going to be like an abundance, a feeling of having a lot of abundance and freedom. And this idea of people traveling, is going to come back as well. And it's going to be boop, 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 and then it'll be, I want to see pulled in again like COVID, but I feel something strong that's going to, it's not a good feeling for after that is what I'm saying. I don't know what it is. I just feel like it's not a good feeling coming after in August, September, October. November is going to be crazy. Like December is going to equal out, and December, according to the astrology, is going to tie a pretty bow into the end of the beginning of 2020, if you follow me. December of this year, 2021, will tie up loose ends that began with December 2019. That continued to go through 2020. And now December, if you notice, sort of nice and smooth. over the next few months, we're going to be seeing some really interesting things in the news. Because it's been very quiet. So watch for that. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit hectic and then balance itself out. In November, I honestly don't. I don't know. That Scorpion tail is going to be just waiting. So I'm just saying, like, don't. I really personally, I don't have good vibes about November. It's kind of one of those situations where it's like, oh my God, what? Like, really? That kind of a shock value, okay? And again, I don't like to make predictions specific because I honestly, I'm not, you know, I don't do that. I could do it for fun, I suppose, but. And I don't know why I do not know why I'm saying this, but I feel like somebody like a major musician, a major like megastar is going to pass this year. And it's going to be of a quick, sudden passing, like an unexpected death, not something like cancer or, you know, COVID. Like, it's going to be like a car crash or like a plane crash or like it could be even murder. Like, I really don't know. I can't put my finger on it, but it's not of natural causes and it's not of disease. Let's just say that. But this person, I feel, is going to be quite famous. And I don't know why I'm saying this, but I do feel like it's going to be in the latter part of October and November. I do not know why. I just feel that energy. September, October, November. Really, really, really odd months. Okay, last card for the deck, please, for the collective. And then, oh, thank you. Wow, it just popped right out there. So let's see what that is. Okay. I'm not going to look at it until you do as well. Boop. What do we got? Oh, see? Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, so yeah, 8 of Swords. So this here is, again, this feeling of being bound, like I talked about earlier in the reading. This feeling of not knowing what is in front of us is this kind of paranoia, which, you know, that brings a deception and, you know, not making any choices because we're kind of like, you know, not sure about things. Feeling, you know, the need to come out of this field, which we will over the first part of the year, and then we're going to be brought back in October, November, December, okay, and then balanced out with the renewal of the sun and the justice position with the strength card in reverse, meaning that we are going to be looking for that justice and that strength to prevail. Something big's gonna rock this year. I really, I don't know. I just keep feeling this. I mean, of all the astrological, you know, videos, again, like I've been watching, and the planetary movements and the conjunctions with Jupiter and Uranus and Pluto and Mars, I would not be surprised. And I'm just saying this out of pure gut feeling. And again, it's not a prediction. It's just based on news releases and things of that nature, and a feeling I have with Mars being a major player this first quarter of the year. I would not be surprised if the United States goes to war. I'm just putting that out there. And because I read the other day that Trump threw planes out towards Iran as a finger, I guess, middle finger to Iran and back, that is going to open up what's to come over the next few months. And I do not hope that comes true. I really, really, really do not hope that comes true. I feel like there's going to be something that rocks the boat, and it is with that political platform of the United States, okay, in Iran. So I'm going to go ahead and look at the bottom of the decks. We have the Two of the Wands, okay, so a lot of people are trying to move forward, and again, with COVID, restrictions, political injustices, and social unrest, we're going to find it very difficult to get through the first part of this year. Again, ebbs and flows. Look forward to May, June. May, June is going to be a really fun time. Even parts of July will be exciting as well. February, March will be a bit rocky. October, November will be rocky, and December will straighten out. So, you know, it's not going to be a bad year. It's not going to be a better year in sense of political injustices. Protests are going to increase, things of that nature. Communication, again, big factor. A lot of people are going to be coming out and saying, I feel this, I feel that. But at the same time, as a collective energy, I feel like there are so many people that were separated over the course of the last 3 to 4 years, where you are either on this side of the fence or you are on this side of the fence in terms of beliefs and morals, okay? Your belief system, your moral system, your ethical systems, your social mentalities, your political mentalities, your spiritual mentalities. This year is going to bring balance into the middle. There's going to be middle ground this year, and I feel like that is the thing that will save the outcome of the social aspect of this year. And I mean social aspect with respect to truths coming out, people getting upset. We're not going to be attacking each other like we did before. We're going to kind of there's going to be a lot of peaceful protests that will be handled in a peaceful way. I don't see a lot of violence with the protests, although I do see one particular situation where it will get very violent. Yeah, I do see a lot of, I don't see a lot of, there's only one particular situation, and I feel like I really can't, I do not want to talk about it. However, yes, so I think the rest of the year is going to be, like I say, ebbs and flows and ebbs and flows. And so with, again, the Two of Wands being in the overall energy of the reading in the up, backwards position there. I want to read my book again so I don't get it wrong. So again, a lot of the plans, so the first part of the year, again, plans will kind of fall apart. There'll be sort of, people will be, thinking small, be travel problems still, a lot of restrictions still. But then come May, June, it's going to be boop, oh wow, we can finally get out and enjoy life and be, with each other again socially, and, hugging each other and being like, very physical, a lot of physical touching, a lot of like strong energy about touch, right? But then that will be brought back again, and then bounced back and bounced in and bounced. So, the mask thing's going to stay. I don't think that's going to disappear for any time, length, or period. I think people are going to be a lot less, worried about it, but I think there are some people that are going to continue to wear masks, for the simple fact that now they are aware of what is, around them, and it, this planet that we are unfortunately not being the kindest to is sort of fighting back. And so I think there's going to be a lot of people that are still really, self-conscious and worried about, catching or spreading, and that sort of, like, again, that paranoia, okay, is going to remain for quite a few years yet, but it's not going to be as restrictive as it has been. So just generally here, I just want to look at, so again, I guys, I really, so yeah, again, again, this restriction card, this being bound and felt imprisoned, it's going to be a mental thing, like, because it's a swords, it's the air card, very mental, communications as well, communication card, a lot of fire and a lot of air happening this year. And of course, if you put air on the fire, what happens? It grows. There's going to be more fuel to the fire this year, okay? And I don't think, and I think there's only going to be, like, again, ebbs and flows of when the water and earth kind of balance itself out and put those flames out and things are normal again, and then it's going to, like, how do I say this? It's going to ignite again and then be put out. So I feel like that's a big thing, and it's all to do with communication, how people are speaking to one another, how people are being very, kind of cautious about how they're saying things. I think that's going to sort of dissipate, and people are going to find some middle ground. We're going to say, okay, let's agree to disagree. It's okay to have opinions. It's okay to feel what you feel. It's okay to, as long as it's in a positive way and we're not disrespecting each other, we can agree to disagree. I mean, I feel like you can accept somebody for all of their faults and be a good human. There doesn't have to be no middle ground. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's what's coming this year. I do not see that until 2022, ending throughout a nice sort of like river as opposed to an ocean, but or what I maybe a calmer lake, I should, better analogy. I feel like the crashes are coming, the big waves are coming, they're going to come up and they're going to come down, they're going to come up, they're going to come down. So that's the overall energy of 2021. So let's go ahead and pull some oracle cards for the love situation with relationships. Okay, let's do, I really honestly didn't think that was going to come out, guys, overall, about the world in general, but it did, and so there you go. All right, so let's go ahead and pull some of, let's do our angel cards. We haven't done those in a while. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and cut the deck. And I'm just going to go ahead and see if I can get these shuffled up. Let's see if I can put this down a little bit more. Okay, just for a few seconds so you can see what I'm working with here, because these cards are massive. Okay. And I have tiny little hands. Okay. All right, so let's see what relationship advice we have for 2021. What's coming through for the singles out there? 3-card spread, please, for all the singles out there, all signs. All right. Okay, the Sun in the reverse. Okay, so Archangel Uriel, number 19. It says, happy outcome, brilliant new ideas that lead to success, have confidence in yourself. So I think a lot of you singles out there are sort of going to stay put with being single. I think you're not going to have any like major changes of feelings about things. I think you're just going to work on yourself and find that sense of renewal within yourself. I don't think you're going to be going out and making any sort of big life decisions this year in terms of new relationships or taking the plunge. I think you're going to be staying safe and being cautious and really getting to know people before, you know, falling head over heels. I'm not saying that you're not going to find any relationships, but I think that, you know, there's not going to be major proposals or falling in love right away kind of feeling, you know. And that's okay, because sometimes, you know, like again, this year's going to be a bit rocky, so I think that's probably for the best. In general, it's good to have somebody around you that you can trust rather than somebody that you're unsure about. People involved in a relationship, Queen of Earth. Okay, so people involved in relationships, so thoughtful, creative, warm, sensible. So I don't think that you're going to make much time for anyone else around you in your relationship. I think that it's just going to be you concentrating on the one you're with. I think that, you know, you don't always take the sensible approach, and you don't always deal with challenges in a sort of kind and understanding manner. But I think that, you know, that's something that you guys can work on this year, those of you who are in a relationship. But just try to be more thoughtful for one another, and, you know, get creative, because it's going to be a rocky road, and not to be like a Debbie Downer, but it's good to have somebody that you trust by your side and that you ultimately love. And if you do love the person that you're with, which you're supposed to do, then, you know, maybe you can deal with your challenges maybe in a more understanding way. Okay, so let's see what's going on for those who have love coming in. Those who are dealing with, maybe how about a past relationship, the ex. Okay, the Emperor. So the Emperor in the reverse. So so you all dodged a bullet there. This person had a lot of ego and wasn't working out. So I feel like it's good that you've moved on, because it wasn't a very logical situation you were in. I think that you're definitely going to become more structured and more disciplined with who you are with going forward. I think that you're going to be very much more in tune with Archangel Michael. He's going to be there to guide you and help you through making those tough decisions, because, you know, he'll help you see things clearly, apparently. And then the last card is for those, because it popped out already, for new love coming in, right? And it was the Three of Swords. So I feel like a lot of you, before this new person comes in, needs to take some time to heal yourself. I think you're still grieving over the loss of somebody that you've loved. Maybe you're not taking the time to forgive yourself, going within to try to sort of heal that heart space, mind space, because you need to be ready for when this person comes in, because this person coming in is going to be it's going to feel very magical. And it's going to feel very earthy, and it's going to have a lot of communication. So I really feel like you need to be ready for, if you're not ready for any of that, if you haven't done the work on yourself, then it's not going to work out, because this person's ready. This person's ready for good communication skills and somebody who is thoughtful and considerate, and has, worked on themselves and has healed, because this person has done their work. They're ready to move forward. They're ready to do what it is in life that you do, and that's to be happy and to love someone that you're with and walk the path. And if there's an imbalance there, or one person's ahead of the other in terms of like self-growth or understanding of one another's needs and wants and desires and things of that nature, in terms of what you want out of life from somebody, or what you want to change about yourself, then it's not going to work, because you have a different frequency going on. So just some, tips of the trade there, from the cards saying, don't be sad about it, but, if you need to work on it, now's the time. Okay. So that's excellent. Let's go ahead and put your angel cards away now. And let's pick, let's see what we have for, so can we just please see what we need for crystals to keep around us over the next couple of months going into 2021 that will help us in our journey. Okay, so the angel of receiving. It says, I'm willing to receive love. The door of my heart is open, allowing blessings to flow into my life. I accept gifts, love, and attention with ease and grace. Okay, so, and I'm grateful for all that is bestowed upon me. So again, with the reading before, again, like that's the word I was looking for. We're going to understand that there's a gratefulness happening, that like we've taken a lot for granted, the little tiny things, in life that people are like, wow, like, oh, I just really miss doing A, B, and C, and I look forward to doing that again, or I really miss, I spent a whole year working on myself, and, I wasn't very social, and I kind of went within and retreated and did the whole hermit thing, and now I'm ready, and then COVID happened, and you're like, damn, I missed so much time, why did I waste so much time? I could have been out, socializing and meeting people, and I think that's, those are the things we take for granted. I think people are going to be very grateful to be able to get out and have some fun, and that's what's going to come in May, June, July. So the gem or crystal you can use to help you through this is called the zoisite, and it's got ruby in it. So it is it says it's a time to receive with grace. It's safe to allow others to do nice things for you and shower you with gifts and permit blessings and love to pour into your open, receptive heart. And it says, do you joyously give but are unable to receive? So again, healing yourself, working on your own self first, and then being ready for the person that's going to come in. And those of you who are with a relationship, in a relationship, the gem for you, Angel of Balance and Emotions. It says, again, the empathy card, the Queen of Wands. It says, I nurture myself, I enjoy healthy foods, I explore avenues for coping with emotional upsets, so I can absorb all that occurs with ease and grace. Again, ease and grace. Okay, this is the theme for 2021. It says, my digestive system appreciates the steps I take to balance my emotions and responds by working optimally. I'm going to take this card and use it as well. Not that I'm in a relationship, but I like it. I like what I'm hearing. So Angel of Balanced Emotions. And then, of course, the gem is the Unikite, pardon me. It says, are you having emotional upsets? Are you able to swallow what's happening in your life? So some of you are really overwhelmed in your relationships because there's just so much going on in the world, right? Maybe some conflict again, within the relationship, that sort of thing. But it says, balance yourself through self-nurturing activities, watch your diet, and embrace your emotions. Imagine the food you eat provides all the nutrients necessary for good health. So as opposed to like getting what you crave, maybe eat what you need instead of what you want. All right. And that also applies in the relationship as well. So only give what you can receive and receive what you can give, and be grateful. And then the universe will give you more, and the abundance will flow. And that is the overall feeling of relationships in 2021. It's just going to be this sort of ease into things, getting back into normal routines, getting, healthy, fit, being able to go for a run and not worry, doing things together as a team, as opposed to like an independent life, right? Because you've been cooped up in your house for so long together, you're going to want to get out and just be independent, but you're going to come back together as well. This rubber band effect, this year is coming that way. So and then those of you who are okay, so we did those come in, those in relationship, those are single. All right, those are single, please. What's the jump for the single ladies and men out there? And oh, here we go. Smokey Quartz. Hey, are your emotions blocked? Are emotions preventing you from moving forward? Again, work on yourself. Embrace your feelings, both positive and negative. See, the middle ground. Again, this is another theme for 2021. Release anger and resentment, another theme for 2021. Watch your emotions be transformed into one that frees you to live and love fully. Again, the theme for 2021 in Ebbs and Flows. So Smokey Quartz is wonderful. It's called the Angel of Transformation card. And it says, I am free of emotional baggage, like a butterfly that has emerged from a cocoon. I now enjoy a state of emotional balance. So I fully appreciate this transformation and continue to allow my feelings to make themselves known to me. So again, accepting the things that we like about each other, accepting the things that we don't, working on ourselves in a way that, like clearing the closet of clothes that don't fit us anymore, getting rid of the things we don't necessarily need. I feel a lot of people are going to get back to a simplistic way of life, keeping it simple, keeping it less hectic, less chaotic. Let's focus on things that matter as opposed to the little things that don't, like let's, instead of, I don't know, flying to wherever, let's just go camping and spend a weekend in a cottage together alone and be romantic. Those types of, you know what I mean? So yeah, but in order to get to that place with someone new, you really have to work on, and everybody's got baggage. Listen, we all carry a suitcase around wherever we go. Like, it's just the facts of life. But again, it's a cleansing, a purging year for a lot of people who, like, this negativity I don't want in my life. I'm not subjecting myself to that. I'm working on these things about myself I do not like. I do not like that maybe I am a bit selfish. I do not like that maybe I'm a bit lazy. I'm going to flip the switch on that, right? And then you're going to attract somebody in your life that's like that as well. So again, law of attraction holds true for 2021. So I hope that that's been helpful, guys. I don't know really. I think that's all the energy I have to give right now. I think the universe is saying stop. So I will. And I will be doing the readings very shortly. I think what I'm going to do is the set of 4. I will do the air, I will do the earth, I will do the water, and I will do the fire, which is wands. And for what am I trying to say? And 4 sections. So let me have a drink of coffee here for a second. Hang on. So I think what I'll do is, instead of doing individual readings this month, as it's going to be a little bit, well, I've lost December, and of course, we're now into literally the second day of January. I'm going to do maybe the 4 elements, and so like we'll do the air signs, and then the, you know what I mean? Just keep it like that so we can get like more done in one go. And then maybe in the latter part of the month I'll start into the January, February you know, 21st to the whatever the heck it is, 22nd, whatever genre for the single readings, say Gemini and Taurus and Pisces and Scorpio, all these Aries and whatever. Okay, so again, thank you for joining my channel. Please like the like button so YouTube thinks that I got something good going on here. And also look forward to some live posts. So I'm going to be doing some live stuff this year as well, so that's really fun. So I hope that you tune in for that. And also look forward to a lot of interesting cards coming my way. I'm going to do some soul past life card stuff. This is really exciting. A lot more oracle reading cards, a lot of astronomy cards coming in, and I also have some more kind of like spirit animal guide type cards, which is really cool. And I also look forward to receiving, I've got some chakra cards coming in too, so for those I can do maybe some chakra readings for those that are sort of feeling kind of whatever, right? So because again, this year is going to be boop and boop. So be prepared for the rocky roller coaster road of 2021. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you soon.